if I started growing chili plants again, I'd do a few things differently. Good afternoon, good evening, good night everybody. Hope you're doing awesome. Happy Thursday to you all. It is Thursday, 16th of April, 2026. And it is day 60. Day 60 of the chili grow up. Look at these beauties. So a little bit different today. Just gonna do a little review of the plants, but also if I was gonna start again, what things I would do differently, what things I've learned along the way, and what I would obviously change now I've experienced this for the first 60 days, what things I would do differently to ensure these plants had a better chance. They're doing great, but obviously mistakes were made. Problems should have been fixed sooner, and issues can be resolved. Other than that, I hope you're doing awesome, having a great Thursday. Me and Miss Lucy are doing well. Weather's all right outside. Still too cold for those plants, ain't it, kid? But just right for you and me. Let's do this. Let's get into day 60. First lesson learned. First thing I would do completely differently if I started again, and that would be getting more knowledge on the grow lights, knowing more information about the grow lights, learning about the positioning, learning about the lumens, the brightness, the time cycles. I went in kind of just going off the instructions. I thought, well, just put it on the full spectrum, all the different colours. It'll be all right. Get them right on top of the leaves. They'll do fine. What I ended up doing was not having them close enough to some of the leaves, which means they ended up extremely leggy, and to the point where some of them needed support because they were so leggy, and even twist ties because they were so leggy. Now I'm sure this was because the lights positioned way too high, so they had to stretch. As you can see here now, if I put the lights on, that's why they're not on at the moment, that's way too low. It's literally touching the leaves, right on top of them, and that's going to burn the leaves up. It's going to be too much, too strong, so we need to adjust. And the rule of thumb, 2 to 4 inches above the plant. So let's just bring that down just a little bit more there. There we go. Significant gap. 2 to 4 inches there. Needs a little bit of raising here. So this was something I needed to be completely checking more often. I would just switch it on and leave it. That's what's caused the leggy plants. That's what caused the issues, I believe, with some of these. It's going to set them back a little bit, or where the support canes would have probably not been necessary if I'd have put the right lights on there. Now with the lights, as you know, you've got your full set here, your full spectrums. That's your blues, your reds, your whites. You've got just your reds. Now that's for your flowering vegetation stage, when you want the flowers to show and get pollinated. That's too soon for these right now. So we put on the blue light for vegetation. This is what it should have been the whole time. We should have had the lights adjusted properly. We should have turned them, checked them more regularly, had longer cycles, between 12 and 16 hours. I was doing about 12 hours, and I think 16 would have been a lot better. Well, it definitely would have been, wouldn't it? So really research your grow lights. I didn't research them enough. If I had to do it all again, I would know the ins and outs about the grow lights before even purchasing the seeds. But not a big issue, just something I would have done, and I will do in the future. I'll know everything about these LED lights before switching them on. I would have done differently. I would have put the seeds into germination a little bit earlier. I was so worried about the cold snap and the frost. My issue was they're going to get too big, they're going to overtake their pots, and we can't put them outside, so what are we going to do? It's okay, they can stay in the pots a little bit longer, they can stay inside until it's suitable. Now, I wish I'd have planted and put these into germination, I'd say about a week or two sooner, just because I would have had them filled a little bit more and just had them a little bit more of a better stage for when the transplanting needs to happen. Transplanting should be happening around about now, and some of the plants, as you know, are ready to do that and will be happening very soon, probably within this next week or so. But it's just, I think everything would have been a little bit, just a little bit better. It's nothing really to worry about, but I would have planted in the 3rd week in January or the end of January instead of the 2nd week in February. I just think a couple more weeks, they would have just been a little bit more set and ready for going outside. I just feel that some of these plants, when the weather does warm up enough, are gonna struggle a little bit. As you know, some of them are already struggling. But timing, I suppose it is tricky, especially when we've got 16 different types. As you know, some grow a lot taller and a lot quicker, a lot broader than the others, as you can see. So yeah, timing on this one is crucial. One thing I would suggest, you can check online and see from your postcode or zip code or the country, city you're in, you can see what kind of zone you are in for frost. When you can see the last frost date for germination, you can find out what zone you are in. And they're pretty accurate. They said about middle to the end of April is when the last frost will be coming. And I think that's about right. So, give or take, I think I would have done another week. A week earlier. But it's nothing really too much to worry about, because as you can see, everything's growing in proportion and some just grow differently than others. But yeah, I'd have done a week earlier. Nothing too crazy, but a week more would have been better. Transplanting too soon. That's been the mistake that I would have changed if I had to start again. Some of them have been excellent, been doing so well. Others, I've really not done them any favours transplanting them this soon. So we know for future reference, give them time. Don't transplant them too soon. They need to fill the cups before they go into the pots. And before they go into the cups, they need to fill the seed plugs, the seed propagator plugs. They need to fill them a lot more. Now, transplanting these plants too soon could have finished them off. Who knows what's going to happen with this Padron. This Scotch Bonnet MOA hasn't really budged since I transplanted it a good month ago. It still looks good, but all it's going to do is set them back. So again, wait until the right moment. I was going to do a video about 2-3 weeks ago where I was going to transplant all of them, every single one of them, no matter what stage, into the bigger pots. And I have to thank my subscriber Rob I think it was like, I would wait a little bit, you're going to do them more harm than good if you do that right now. And thank you, Rob, and thank you everybody else that said as well, don't do it too soon. Give them time, let them fill them up. And they're going to be ready soon. Most of them, actually. A good chunk of them are going to be ready to transplant within this week or within next week. But too soon, all you're going to do is set them back. And they're going to end up just taking a month to sort themselves out. Or just slowly fade away. Here we have the seed propagators that I was using. They were absolutely fantastic. Everything I needed. Also had the light on, the LED light. Just got them on the side here, didn't put them on the top. This is what I would change if I was going to grow them again. This humidity dome. You need it to start. Only to start. I wish I knew it was only to start. Because once they sprout, and you can see about 80% of the plants, if you can see the seed leaves popping through, first thing you need to do is take them off, and get that air flowing. I left it for quite a while, and I remember like my Zebrangis were about this tall. About 6 days after they'd sprouted, they were about this tall. The domes had all water droplets and condensation all beading around and running down. And if you see in our earlier videos, in the first few days of the seed propagators, which are right here, look, if you want to have a click on that, you'll see that we had the ahi pineapples. I was so looking forward to growing those bright and dark, beautiful yellow sweet peppers, hot sweet peppers, the Baccatum variety. Not a single one sprouted. Not one. And then when I used the seed propagator, when they did, the few did pop up, first thing I did when I took the humidity dome off, that little seedling just went, toppled, just completely at the soil line, just collapsed. No chance in saving them then. My own fault, I left the humidity dome on too soon. Now, because I had a mixed variety of peppers as well, all were germinating and sprouting at different times. The super hots, the chinens varieties, they take longer to germinate. The reapers, for example, can take up to a month to start popping through. Mine took about 2-3 weeks. The ahi pineapple, that was a Baccatum, can be fast growers, can be a lot slower than the reapers. It's just the humidity, the temperature, the heat mat usage, the light. They're in the very first stages of their life, and it was so crucial and so critical. And having that humidity dome on for a good 6 days after they'd all sprouted and were all showing, definitely, in my opinion, I'm convinced it killed off any chance with the ahi pineapple. Destroyed a good chunk of the habaneros. We've only got those 2. You know, it does make a difference. So take this dome off the second it needs to be taken off. So when 80% or most of the cells are showing the seed leaves popping through, showing a little bit of green, get this off and keep it off, because I for sure lost a lot of peppers that way. Also, one other thing I would do different, if I was growing just the super hots, Carolina Reaper, Armageddon, Ghost Peppers, and Scotch Bonnet MOAs, I would do them all like that instead of having, I don't know, Zebrange, Tabasco, Carolina Reaper, Large Orange Thai, Zimbabwe Black. I know I needed the cell space, but to put such different varieties all together under the same dome in the same propagator was a bit silly, to be honest. And I'm very happy everything came through, apart from the ahi pineapple. But I pretty much doomed myself right away by keeping this on too long and just having way too much variety together. So keep it all within the one propagator if you can. The same style, the chinens, the Baccatum, the capsicum, the capsicum chinens, the Baccatums, keep them all kind of together, super hots all together, the purples all together, the stripes all together. But the second they start to show, please take this humidity dome off and put it in a separate room, keep it well away, because this really and nearly killed off all the plants. Here we have day 60. A little bit different, a whole lot of just still motion of the chili peppers and a lot of me rambling. But I just wanted to make a video and inform everybody of the things that I would have done different if I had to start all this again. I feel confident that I've done most of the things correctly or accurately enough. But with things like the humidity dome, not knowing enough knowledge about the lights, you know, transplanting too soon, these are really amateur mistakes and really quite silly mistakes that I've made. Could have been very costly, but as you can see, we're doing all right. I think everything's as it should be. Some are struggling, some need a bit more attention, others are just wild. So please let me know in the comments, everybody, what mistakes do you think I've made that I haven't mentioned? Are there any mistakes that you've made that I haven't mentioned? How are your plants doing? I want to know. I am nosy. I want to know everybody's business. What's going on with your chili plants? Showed you my chili plants. Let's see what's happening with your chili plants, hey? That would be awesome. And I just, again, thank you all so much for checking us out today. I can't thank you enough. We just really appreciate it from the bottom of our hearts, Lucy and I. It means the world to us. Tomorrow, let's have a little check-in on the plants. We'll do a nice quick progress check. And then Saturday, we got our feeding, watering, fertilising. It's going to be a bit of a crazy week. We've got a lot on, me and Lucy have. We've got lots and lots to do. We've got our old war hero coming down for the weekend as well. So it'll be wonderful to see him. Take him out and treat him for some beers and some good food, some good times. We'll watch the darts tonight and have some Chinese food. Old school times for me old war hero. He's on his way now from South England coming up, so it'll be good to see him. I haven't seen him for quite a while. It's good to see me old vet buddies. They mean the world to us, and as I always tell him, I thank him for his service. I thank them all for their service. The way our veterans are getting treated in this country, it breaks my heart. And if only we can do more, eh? Hopefully as time goes on and these chili peppers do well, you know, if we can make some, you know, it would be nice, some hot sauces maybe. I've had some ideas of maybe getting something together where like we could give a percentage. I want to do one for the dog shelter locally. And I certainly want to do one for the veterans, for the homeless vets, for mental health, because people are struggling out there and we need organic minds and organic food to get us through this sometimes struggle that we call life. I thank you all so much for joining us. Have a healthy mind, healthy food, healthy lifestyle. Have a wonderful week. Do what you're passionate about. Do what you love and enjoy. And just thank you for taking your time and life to come and join us for a few minutes today and listen to me rambling about chili peppers and all the mistakes I've made so far. Thank you all so much. You take care of yourself. Make sure you look after me, myself and I. Because no one's going to throw you a lifeline if you're drowning. Have a wonderful Thursday. We'll see you tomorrow for day 61. See you Friday. Take care. Bye-bye.